So if there's another thing that the Bible, or maybe even religion, offers you, is it gives you meaning in your strife. Oh, Dostoevsky, and this is worth remembering. So I wrote it down a while ago because I'm trying to remember it, but it's worth it for here. There is only one thing I dread, not to be worthy of my suffering. That's Dostoevsky, the author of Crime and Punishment and the Brothers Karamazov. Not to be worthy of my suffering, not to see meaning in my suffering. That is a religious idea. That is not a scientific idea. Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 13 of HD Philosophy Plays Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I've decided to try to make sure I finish the game before I move on to Tekken, because I do need to eventually move on to Tekken because I have the EVO World Tournament coming up in near the end of July. So I really want to start practicing, and I figure I might as well talk about fighting games and things like that when I get there. But I'm going to try to see if I can finish Final Fantasy VII Rebirth within the next 2 or 3 goes. But there was something I was thinking about from the last interaction. It's probably something much more off the wall, but remember when Tifa was kind of in that floating state and she was seeing the different moments in her memories, right? And I was like, wow, so she's going through something like what Cloud was originally going through as well, like the different clouds. And then that kind of stuck with me. The different clouds, because I think we have a misconception nowadays where our brain or our identity is kind of static throughout our lives. It's actually one that's being challenged quite a bit. But if you think about it, you're not static, or your identity isn't static. In fact, you can have certain brain states where previous versions of you kind of come to the forefront as you're doing things. For example, there are many times where I'll be playing a game, or I'll be driving around, and I'll get a craving for a cigarette just by watching somebody, and all of a sudden this craving moves over me. Now, I haven't smoked cigarettes in, I want to say, almost 20 years. Let's see, my son, I'm trying to think how old he was, because I quit when he was born. Yeah, so almost about 19 years now. I've quit smoking, and every so often, though, this craving will come out of nowhere. It'll just like overcome, and it'll be like me from 18 years ago. You know, it's almost like I become that individual again. I can see, I've seen my face like take on certain mannerisms in that way as well. The same thing as when I meet a high school, like if I were to meet a high school bully. I haven't actually met a high school bully, but I've seen the discussions in psychology of what happens when a person meets their high school bully. They actually end up taking on the mannerisms that they had when they were younger. It's almost like they become that 9-year-old or 13-year-old when they reach that bully. And what's fascinating about it, it's almost like these isolated traumas, or these isolated psychological characteristics, or psychological existential individuals come forward in one's mind, and it's almost like they are those people now. And I was just watching a great discussion with a psychologist and a YouTuber, and he was discussing the first instance in kind of getting over that is realizing that person exists within you, and then understanding when they come out or when they come forward. So in this game, and when I play games and when I play fighting games, I know that little tantrum seeking, doesn't want to win, horrible loser. When they lose, they just take it horribly. I know that individual is going to come out of me. And I'm hoping I can do something about it by recognizing when that young Justin has made itself known, when that young person has made itself known. And so I'm actually going to try to apply this in more instances. It's probably going to be way more prevalent when I play fighting games. But it's like, when we see this happening, well, in Final Fantasy VII, when we saw it happening to Cloud, it was like he's a completely different person, and he can't even control himself. And so, well, that's kind of the way we all are, right? When there's a word from it. It's kind of like the persona. When that persona comes out, it's as if they do take over. It's as if the persona that you've been trying to work on takes a back seat. Even if you hate that persona, even if you know you don't want to be this individual, it's like they just move forward and take over. And I love in that last instance, we really see that, because you can imagine how Cloud was struggling on the inside. Like, what are you doing, you idiot? You're about to skewer Tifa. You're about to attack her. But you just have this other persona, this one that you hate, or for some people, the personas that absolutely disgust them. They move forward and they take over, and it's like, can't do anything about it. There's also, obviously, psychotherapeutic strategies that one takes in order to analyze. But I think one of the first ones, if I'm taking the symbology of relics and things like that, the first one is the eye. The first one is noticing. And it was so fascinating because that's what the psychotherapist said to that YouTuber. It's like, don't even worry about getting rid of it for now. Let's just be aware of when that comes forward, and then we'll go from there. It's like maybe I'm too many tiers down when I just want to get rid of it. And then there's this aspect of disgust that comes out, and you actually absolutely hate that type of you that comes out. But how about first recognizing it? Maybe even recognizing that that's not you, So that's something that's kind of been on the forefront. And one more thing, a lot of people, they assume just because I'm a philosopher that for me at the forefront is logic and reasoning. And I have to say that is a misconception. Obviously, philosophers make arguments for why they believe certain things, but also at the same time, the philosopher is very aware of putting too much stake in logic in and of itself. Just, there can be terrible logical arguments. There can be logical arguments for terrible things. Just to give you folks my own example, since I brought up the smoking, when I was quitting smoking, because I had smoked from a very young age, I'm talking about like 11 or 12, I started smoking. And I didn't quit until I had my first child. And I was like 22 or 23. I just don't want to do the math right now, but I was around 22 or 23. So that was quite some time smoking cigarettes. And when I quit, I didn't quit the first time, but when I quit where it stuck, I cannot tell you how much of an enemy my logical faculties became. It was like the pull of nicotine was so absolutely strong, I was making convincing, rational arguments to myself on why I should continue to smoke. One of them, I'll never forget it, one of them was, hey, Justin, you have a bad temper. You've always had a bad temper. You've done your best to suppress it. You use cigarettes as a way to suppress it as well. And how many people die from high blood pressure or heart attack? That is linked to that kind of anger and aggression. High blood pressure runs in your family. You have a lot of smokers. None of them died from lung cancer. So why are you quitting cigarettes if they help stamp down one of your biggest flaws, which is your temper? So it was like, that is a rational argument right there. It's what is more than likely going to kill me is my high blood pressure, and my temper is like the antithesis. It's actually the bedfellow of that particular disease. More than likely, that's what's going to kill me, my high temper. So that was the argument that is made, and that's a logical argument. It's almost like, well, yeah, you're cutting out something that's probably helping you with your particular weaknesses here. So anyway, obviously I still quit. But to loop it around, to give yourself over to the pure faculty of logic, to quote Muhammad Azapor, which was one of my graduate professors, one of my favorite graduate professors, there's always another argument. There's always another argument on the other side. He became one of my favorite professors because he's very much transcendental the way I teach philosophy, in a very transcendental way as well. And that's because, honestly, there's always another argument. There can be great arguments for terrible things. And I think Kant ended up demonstrating that as well. If you don't have the foundation of the goodwill, if you don't have that moral foundation, you can make an argument for almost anything. It doesn't make it good. It can follow the logical structures of validity, but that doesn't make it moral. So, just something I wanted to bring up, given what we went over last time and kind of what was on my mind. But let's see how far we can get in this. Let's see how far we can get in this game today. And as I play, I'm going to try to focus on that transcendence. I'm going to try to focus on being a better individual in that particular way. Chapter 9. I don't even know how many chapters there are total. I guess I don't want to be spoiled on that. So, okay. I'm back, guys, and let's see what happens.
Basically, we got some nasty-looking black whispers going up against the planet in the life stream. And these whispers are with Sephiroth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like it.
That's how it looked to me while I was in there. And? Any idea who was winning? Did you tell? The planet. The life stream. Us.
We're winning?
Well, of course we are. What did you expect?
Why is Red asleep for this? This is really important.
Y'all know she's gonna pour her heart and soul into this fight. Just close your eyes and listen. Tell me you can't hear that. Her rallying cry. She knows Sephiroth ain't going down easy, and that she needs others to step up. But
isn't this interesting? So this is kind of exactly what I was just talking about right here. You need something more. So in this sense, people are making rational arguments, and this is a rational argument right there on why they should continue on their journey. But you need something more than just a logical argument. I mean, even as far back as Aristotle, he was like, the logical argument doesn't persuade anyone. And as a teacher of 10 years, I can honestly tell you, it does not sway many. The majority are always swayed by this emotional reaction. But what's going on here with Barrett is something uniquely different. What's going on here with Barrett is he believes he has an insight into something more supernatural, almost like a prophet. So this is very prophetic kind of language coming out of Barrett here. Almost like we're meant to do this. We are on the side of good. That thing that's out there, that entity that's bigger than ourselves, that pure entity of goodness, the life stream, the planet, it's on our side right now. So therefore we're doing the right thing. He has the prophetic insight into the needs and desires of that supernatural supernatural being right there. So what we have here is prophetic insight. So he's making an argument. Oh, yeah, why? Of course, we're doing the right thing. That's why this planet is on our side. And of course, it makes logical sense, but at the same time, there's that emotional valence as well, where it's like the good, being on the right side of the good, almost injects that emotional appeal right there. I guess it's a good argument for those who believe ethics to be a motivism, or type of motivism, where, something that happens that's bad is nothing more akin to, boo, I don't like that right there. Something I absolutely disagree with. I'm much more closer to like a moral absolutist. And I honestly think we may find through the Kantian categorical imperative, maybe not through the categorical imperative, although maybe that should be looked into much more. I believe that moral absolutes won't conflict. I believe the conception of conflict is our ignorance of the moral the moral absolutes. When we dig down and we actually figure out what are the moral absolutes, I don't believe there will actually be a conflict. Now, again, I can be wrong. This is kind of like my area of interest at this time. And I mean, maybe I could look back at this discussion 10 years from now when I gain a little bit more insight. But let's just say that's much more of the fascinating field that I'm following right now. I think they call it non-conflicting absolutism or something like that. And Christians use it in Christian ethics to view the Decalogue in that way, where it's like the foundational tenets of the Decalogue, the Ten Commandments, are universal, and the conflict is our ignorance of what they mean, and they actually don't conflict when you have a strong understanding of all 10 commandments. So maybe we'll see that in Kant as well, because if you look at the categorical imperative, it's pretty strong as far as if there was to be a deontological ethic that existed out in the world, it should probably follow those 3 laws. My favorite being the last one, where it's the kingdom of ends. Anyway, Barrett here is actually demonstrating an argument towards he has a prophetic insight into what the planet wants. And thus, as the individual who everybody's kind of been following this whole time, can't you hear her? Can't you listen to the planet? The planet's dying. We need to do this. He's kind of had that North Star right there. This, of course, will flip on its head if we ever find out that the life stream is actually evil. Then this whole thing flips on its head, which is kind of what I was saying before when I was using the Aquinas quote, right? Of the archer that pulls the arrow, and you're the arrow mid-flight, and you turn around, and the archer's like the Joker or something like that, you know? All of a sudden, your aims aren't so beneficent. But yeah, it's funny how things work out. It's funny how life works out, you know? The things that I was just talking about, and I have no idea where we're going forward. This was going to happen going forward. They just make themselves known, you know?
The only ones who can.
We're the only ones who can.
We need to commit. Put our lives on the line to save hers. You in?
Yeah, you bet we are. Huh?
Wow, what have I walked in on? You
The
know,
revolution.
the place is better suited to these kinds of conversations.
Like Cosmo Canyon.
Finally.
The home of planetology. It's right around the corner, isn't it?
And do they have materia there? Because if they do, I am in, like all in.
Since time immemorial, it has been a place for both planetary energies and ancient wisdom. Of course we...
Say no more. Let's ride, people.
Wow, Reg, what's got you so excited?
I grew up there.
That settles it. We've got ourselves a pilgrimage to make.
While it won't be an easy trek, this ought to speed things up.
We can use the green chocobos.
A free flyer pilot works out of an old airstrip nearby.
Oh, never mind.
He can take you part of the way. Use the south gate and follow the trail. You can't miss it. And I should... This here's Spango. He's taken quite a liking to you. Sure, he'd be more than happy to give you guys a lift.
Thanks, Cisne, for everything.
The pleasure was all mine. And if you need anything else, just ask around the village.
Not much talk about what Cloud did, though, eh?
You know, we should probably take a look at the town notice board. See if there are any jobs for us. Always fancied trying my hand as a merc.
No time to dick around.
Perish the thought. I just want to pull my weight. Help my pals out where I can. I swear.
So, where are we heading? Because I saw 2. So there's this, which is the main, right? And then what is this? Road to the airship. I guess we'll go there
Think we
first.
can do without your kind of help. You Shinra bootlicker.
Shinra
Still
bootlicker.
can't find it in your heart to trust me, eh? The way we snuggled up last night, I thought we'd made a breakthrough.
I only did that because I thought you were Marlene. Don't making it weird.
Oh, he made it weird. Ah, okay.
So, what are free flyer pilots exactly?
Well, since the Republic's on the scrap heap, Shinra all but owns the skies.
Birds ought to count their blessings that Shinra hasn't come down on them yet.
Free flyers couldn't they care less though?
I don't think they're gonna have chocobo breeding in this.
For them, nobody owns
Maybe
the
that's
sky,
for the next
least
one.
of all Shinra. Then our man gives him the finger as he flies by.
For real? Sounds like my kind of guy.
All right, let's get some practice in.
Floppy, take the lead.
I'll show you what I can do. Lend me. You've got this.
Taking over. Deal with that.
You can do it.
Only do quick. Keep it together. Hang back. Only the strong survive.
I do like this team. Prayer material went up. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to do too much sightseeing, you know? I'll have time for that another time. I hope you all can hear me well. Yeah, well, when I project my voice, it goes into the red, so I need to get better, kind of not yelling at you folks. I've been told I have a booming voice. When I used to do lectures at the school, people could say they could hear me from across the campus. Like, what can I say? I got excited. Felt like he was walking on his own for a little while there. God, this game is beautiful, though. Running into trees. I feel like I'm going the right way. Yeah. Is it Sid?
Well, looks like we found the airstrip. Or what's left of it.
Yeah, it's definitely seen better days.
You can say that again. It's more crater than runway.
Are you kidding me? So we came here for nothing?
Maybe not. See that?
Oh, a Republic telephone booth, eh? What a wee look.
Send up smoke and we'll be right with you, folks. Bronco Airlines. Seriously?
Or so
Guess
nobody's
so.
gonna talk about what
So,
Cloud
find
did?
anything?
Yeah, we gotta send up smoke.
Like, with a fire?
Wait, you've never heard of smoke signals? Wow. What do they teach you in Midgar?
Enough.
Well, leave it to someone who knows more than just enough.
There we go.
This
Yiffy.
is taking too long.
Making herself useful.
But I can speed things up. Come to me, airplane. Follow the smoke.
And then immediately making herself useless.
Come to me, airplane. Follow the smoke. Huh? What? Look. Right on cue.
Well, I'll be damned.
Told you I'd speed things up. Over here.
Wow. They all stand right there, huh?
Bravo, sir.
There he is.
Where to, folks?
Sid.
Cosmo Canyon, please.
You talk? The hell kind of magic trick is this?
Not that I ain't seen crazier shit on my travels. Now, how many of you we got? Too many. But the old girl likes a challenge. With hazard
A
pay,
tiny
I'd
Bronco.
say this is fair. And since I don't have much else going on, I'll be here scratching my ass till y'all pony up.
I have that. Yeah.
Much obliged. Hop on board and sit where I tell you. Gotta make sure my baby's balanced just so.
You know, I hope in the next one they forego the whole 3,
Hold on tight
like 3
now,
people in
here.
combat.
Fall
Give
on
us
your
more.
own.
Close.
Here we go!
There's just so many here, you know, and I understand the original was 3 with the weight, but man, there's a way they can make the group work. I'm probably asking a lot.
We're flying!
No shit, kid. Who do you think I am?
I don't know. Who?
President and pilot of Bronco Airlines, Sid Highwind. Let's
I liked
rock and
Final
roll.
Fantasy XIII's the paradigm shift. It was really controversial. A lot of people didn't like it, but I did like it.
Must admit, I didn't expect to find a willing participant. You are truly a model soldier, my boy. I'd hold still if I were you. We wouldn't want any complications.
No, Professor.
I thought Roche was saying nice, like was on my side a little while ago.
Special treatment. One that will surely make you into a hero. Once, this would have taken years, but now it takes a mere 18 hours. All thanks to me and my singular genius. I stand at the forefront of science, my brilliance a guiding light. Of course, we pioneers must be ready to do what others are not. Though even I wouldn't dare attempt to improve upon perfection.
They always have a foundation, right? They always have an assumed foundation they need to move from. And I'm talking about pure science. Science always has like a basic foundation that it doesn't move from. A preconceived notion that they don't argue for. It's like, this is the thing you must take without criticism and then move on from there. His is like, here's the perfection right here that I'm going to implant or move from right there. He's not even questioning if this is perfection, you know? Oh, the music. I'm controlling it, huh?
Uh-oh.
What?
Thought maybe planes would be okay. But no.
This is cool.
Not in here. Open a window.
Hey, Sid,
Yeah.
you not worried about flying around in the open like this? What if Shinra sees us?
Shinra don't own the skies. Shitheads couldn't stop me even if they tried.
I think you and me are gonna get along just fine.
We're getting pretty close now.
Yep. Bringing her down.
There's Cosmo Canyon. You have to fly through that.
Okay, folks, we're here. Helped you as far as I could. Hope y'all
I don't remember
mind
hitting
walking,
that before,
'cause now
but
you're on your own.
What about the next time we need a lift?
send a smoke signal.
Send up a signal. Just make sure I got room to land. Happy trails to you.
The Veil's this way.
This is going to be its own thing in and of itself. Bronco Airlines. Inspect the telephone booth at the airstrip, and then, yeah, we get them. Right price will be 1,000 gil for your inaugural trip, and 300 for each subsequent trip. Okay, that makes sense. Wow. Here we go. Little spin on the Midgar music. It's supposed to be boo doo 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 doo. Boo doo doo boo doo 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 doo. Maybe it'll be like that when we enter. Yeah.
Sure you want to fight?
Don't overdo it.
Here goes. You. Thank you. Tagging out.
Leave
Go
it to
on.
me. Let's settle this.
That's a
For
mess.
you.
That's that.
Take over.
It's your turn.
Let's do this. Keep it together.
So it's my turn?
No wonder we won.
No, don't overdo it.
Follow Laura.
I'm coming. One more shot. I'm backing off. Tagging out.
I got this. Take the lead.
You can do it.
Take over.
Keep it together.
I'll show you what I can do.
Oh, that's only close. I really need to figure her out.
That's it. You've got
Keep
this.
it together.
I got this. Deal with that.
Can you take over for
Ready
me?
when you are. All comes down to this. Let's keep it up. Feeding time. Oh no, don't let up now.
Leave it to me.
That wasn't so bad.
Let's take a look at Aerith's combat settings. So, Soul Drain. Unleash an attack that absorbs MP. Okay. From staggered enemies. I think she can do something else by now. Raise a barrier that damages and temporarily freezes enemies who attempt to strike you. That's a good place to be. Prey, I'm gonna make triangle. It's kind of her oh shit button. Jetstream. Wind attack. Lightning attack. Ice attack. Magical shield that keeps enemies at bay and stops projectiles. Bingo. Now I need her to have like a normal attack. Conjure a ward that grants invincibility while casting spells. Strengthens Aerith's basic attack. I guess she's just going to be a ward. Sorcerer's Storm is good for AoE. As long as I understand it's just around. Well... Now I'm wondering about Prey. Maybe it should just be all of her AG spells. Conjure a ward. Automatically. Spells cast. I'll go twice. And then I'll put... Yeah. I'll just keep Prey. Since it's something she doesn't use often. Nice. Gain some levels. Ramps. It's got to be for the new Choco. Get a new Choco when we play this. When we get here. Blocking the road, huh? Cosmo Canyon's that way. And we got a Chocobo Ranch.
Look! A chocobo
There we
ranch.
go. Belows.
Shawnee, that you?
Who's Shawnee? One of your chocobos? Did they run away from home?
My apologies. I don't believe we've met. I'm Kamaria, the owner.
So, Shawnee's your bird?
Goodness, no. Shawnee's my daughter. She's a chocobo jockey. Or was, till she fell off her mount during a race. Since then, she's completely lost her nerve. Refuses to get back in the saddle.
I hear that
I
happens.
see.
Oh. Tell me, you kids any good at riding?
Yeah, we dabble.
Wonderful. In that case, how would you like to use my training? I had everything built brand new just for Shawnee. But now it's going to... Someone ought to put it to good use, don't you think? And who better than...
I don't know.
Ever run a ring course? It's simple. You strap yourselves in and fly through a series. I reckon
Sounds like
you won't
fun.
find a course like mine.
Whoa, that sounds You want to try it?
Sure.
But first, you'll need to
Need to
catch
catch-
yourself a chocobo. One that isn't afraid of heights. A fine bird like Apony ought to do you, though. Go ahead and ride her over to the training course. Twisting paths and bewildering brushlands. She'll guide you through it all with ease.
Okay. So I need to obtain a bird in the region before I can. Makes sense. Oh, that's... Yeah, okay, I gotcha. I gotcha. It's telling me that's where the bird is. It would be nice to have a chocobo in this region, so I might as well finish the side quest. Mega potion, huh? That's what I wanted. Good. Adrenaline, plant, one more planet's mercy. Shucks. I need more planet splendor for that. I guess Giga Potion's next. Behind that, huh? Oh. You're supposed to show me, not the other way around.
I'll take care of this. Yeah. Hey, you asked for it. Why don't you lead the way?
That's an interesting sound.
Enough. Keep it together.
I have it now.
Now, it's over. That'll do.
Now, Tifa just went up. That's kind of cool. I would get the soundtrack.
Coming for you, beautiful birdie.
Okay, here we go.
Look! That's gotta be Apony!
I was looking that way. Who spotted me? Alright, well. Can't hit that one. Yeah. See, it's like right there, though. I gotta push it a little bit farther. Alright, well, he's not looking now. Come on, move around. Nice that it gave me a checkpoint. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more. And that's like I pull it on this side. Okay, now I can push it a little bit more this way. Nope, he's looking my way now. Okay. Come on, grab it. Hopefully he'll fall asleep soon. Okay. Good timing. Well, that's what I was trying to avoid. There we go. No idea how many I'm gonna need, but... Oh, wait. I need to switch it now. Oh, okay. Missed. Okay. Oh, that was way off. My goodness. Wait. Oh, shit. I had no idea. No, get... Oh, my God. Okay, so the rock did... Well, obviously, it's not going to knock it the other way, although I didn't think this thing would know that. Okay, so... The switch is right there, so... About as far as I can put it, I think. So you're gonna turn around. Come on. Good. So it should be going the other way. Okay. Let's see. Oi. Okay. I wish I could look when I'm doing this. Looking at that meter. And there we go. Now we
Easy
have
girl. We got you.
Aqua Chocobo. Definitely one of the nicer ones, too. Fearless, they can leap from certain ledges and fly across the region. That's cool.
All right.
Just hit me. You don't get sick on Chocoback.
Amazing, isn't it? It's like my chocobo and I share one mind, one body, one soul.
Uh-huh.
Or maybe my body just hates Shinra cars, trains, and boats. They ought to find a way to make the ride smoother for their stuff. Put R&D to work.
Think they got other priorities.
That's true.
Come on. I don't know, this one seems way more laid back, yeah? Oh, man. There we go. Edit colors, too. I'm not going to get that much into it. Okay. So... is this my destination? So how do I begin? Down there, huh? Okay, maybe a little bit of side quest. Still have every piece of my mind, every incentive to finish this. Is this where we start? Yes.
Apony. You always seem to find me, no matter where I go.
We brought her.
Let me guess. You're Shani? You were talking with your mom earlier. She said you weren't using the training facility she built. Figured if you're not up for it, then we could give Apony her exercise.
Oh.
No, don't.
We'll bring her back.
All right, it's settled. And Chocobo Whisperer Yuffie gets first dibs.
Alright, let's give it a shot, everyone. Crescent Sickle. Yeah, we have a storm coming, like with hail.
Giddy up, girl!
Alright, here we go. Oh yeah, here we are, Luffy, huh? Yuffie. My father's actually watching that One Piece. He had no idea it's a anime. It's so great. It was awesome watching him enjoy it. Wait, where the heck am I going?
I call for a redo.
So, did I choose the wrong... I think I chose the wrong way, didn't I? Try that again. Epic fail on first one. Only 300 points. Okay, then I'm gonna have to... Yeah, I see it. My wife and I were having an interesting discussion on what it actually means to fly. It's like, I don't think I'd actually call gliding flying, because I feel like you need the thrust, yeah? You need to have the actual propulsion, but I mean, a part of it is gliding. As you hear her texting me. Oh, come on. I did not hit that. What a way to take that one away from me. Now I have to do it all over again.
Yeah, that should do it. You know, if I were racing at the Gold Saucer, I'd bet on me.
Don't let it go to your head. I could do what you just did
In my sleep. Ha!
Before you start talking big, you gotta at least finish the other regiments first.
There we go. Competition.
Goalposts, huh? Fine. I'll take whatever you throw at me.
No, I want to do this one over again. 3,600. Do I have to be Yuffie, though, every time? Probably, right? Yep. That's how they have it coded. Yeah, be careful with the right analog. Oh, look at that treasure just hiding over there. Nope, 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 nope. Yep, be careful with the way I'm looking. That's how I lost it last time. Sometimes you have to trust the camera angle. Yeah, trust the camera angle. I'm not even going to touch the right analog. Nor am I going to hold down. Okay, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. There we go. There we go. Oh, shoot, 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 shoot. Push too far down. So I need to, like, and then dive, I guess. Yeah, so the debate she and I were having was, you know, what characteristics does one need in order to consider it flying? I let go, and I thought it couldn't be worse. So, what characteristics qualifies flying? And I was like, it can't just be like a jump, you know? Like the original Superman, he leaped tall buildings at a single bound. He didn't actually fly. So jumping really high wouldn't be considered flying. Unless you're Michael Jordan, though, right? No, but seriously. I saw that up there. So anyway. Yeah, I wouldn't consider that flying. So, gliding by itself, I don't think it's flying either, you know? Because I just, personally, when I think of something that's flying, I think of something that is self-propelled. So maybe like controlled gliding. Or as Buzz Lightyear said, yeah, no, this is falling with style, right? Oh, this is... I get it. This is true. This is true aeronautic controls right here. Oof, just got it. So, yeah, up. Okay, there we go. This should be it. Just that little dip in the beginning is exactly what I needed. And then I dive bomb right at the end. And then dive bomb. There, she'll get her little shuriken. That was rank 2? No, rank 3, yeah, there we go. Alright, off to the next. Actually, the next is back up here. So a little competition is going to get her back in the saddle, huh? When somebody else is like, well, snooze you lose, I'm going to take your bird. All of a sudden it's, get over the fear, right? Oh, I totally tried to jump there. Yeah. And the mother, she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing. Telling her, well, you know, I built that whole thing. If she's not going to use it, you use it. I've been trying to ignore him all game, Chadley. I'm actually getting to the point where I'm going to need to start either making these or upgrading my people's equipment because, yeah. The Spirit Bind, that's not even good for them. The Commander's good, though. The Crucible Bracelet. Andrew Wilson's favorite bracelet. Let's see. Here's a plus. What did I just buy? Because none of these are good. I must not be ranked high enough. Well, even the ones that I'm ranked high enough, that doesn't even help anyway. What did I just buy? I thought I bought the Spirit Bound. Let's double check. The Snail Shell Bracelet is what I just bought. And it does nothing but help. It's like it doesn't... It has no downfalls. So that's kind of where I am right now. So I cannot make the Snail Shell Bracelet. Nope. Yggdrasil. Can't make that either. I guess my craftsman level is not where it's supposed to be right now. Hyther needs to be on the list. What is my craftsman level? 12? Not enough sage, huh? You know why I'm not doing enough side missions for this stuff? I guarantee that's what it is. Trying to make what I can. I do own those though. I'm looking at owned and not experience. Okay, I need to put this on the list. There we go. To-do list. To-do list. To-do list. To-do list. All right. Then it'll pop up, right? For now, though, I need to buy at least 3 then. All the necessary enhanced abyssal bangle. Really? How did that happen? It's literally just here. But... oh, alright. Gain some experience there. Yeah. Oh, wait. What did that take down? His defense from magic defense, but yeah. How about you, Aerith? Perfect all the way around. No reason not to. How's her? Okay, we learned the Lustrous Shield. How about you? We've already learned that. Time for your next color, buddy. Deplete with Vengeance gauge to heal allies. Oh, no kidding. He becomes a healer? Oh, that's so sick. That is so sick. Alright. Alright, Red. I'm liking you more and more as a staple in here. Let's see. Level boost material. Autocast. Morph. It's just HP up and now. I don't really see much else for him, that's why. So, another healer, I guess, since that's kind of the way I'm going with him. Okay, they all have heal. This is so sick. Red is so cool. Okay, but what should he be doing? Sidewinder, I dig. Starburst Ray is a 2, so this can go, and I should be doing this. So deplete the Vengeance gauge to heal. So I need to do the Sentinel stance to get it, and then that. And I still have Sidewinder and Crescent Claw. Hold up. I'd rather my defensive go here, and then my offensive go there and there. I don't know. For some reason, it makes more sense in my brain when I do that. Let's see. The stance, I want an X. And then Crescent Claw I'll switch. So Sentinel stance here, Crescent Claw here. Okay. Unless there's something better. Where's Chilling Roar? Retaliate with Ice Shards. Grant haste on all party. Wildfire. Dao G. Yes. Unleash fire. Okay. And that's the 2. Alright. I'm sure a lot of you didn't understand that reference. That was an obscure anime that not too many people knew about. But I loved it. Ronin Warriors. Of course, my favorite was Anubis. If you can't tell, like, you can kind of take a look at, like, all of my statues and see how much I enjoy the villains. Like, even Vegeta. My son once asked me too, like, Dad, you seem to like all the villains. It's like, well, I mean, I can't identify with the heroes. Like, the hero is the ideal. It's what everybody strives to be. But you understand the hero. You understand the villains. All right, let's. No, not this. We want to trade. Yeah, okay. So we have all this. No, we don't have this. Whoa, those are god-awful. The Hunter Saddle, the Rodeo. I swear I bought those. That looks terrible. Wait, I don't own this? I know I do. I kind of dig the steampunk legs. I guess that might look good. Now what's this stuff? Required? But I own 86 of them, so it says required, but I own so many of them. Sage, that's... Yeah, I need a lot of that. Alright, good thing I stopped here. Oregano. I want a bunch of that, though. 40 of those, 30 of those. 2. Ooh, I am... Okay, let's just go with 10 then. There we go. There we go. Now I can make stuff. Chocobo for now. Did they really say that? Boom. Yeah, well. Planet's Mercy. I need 2 more for the sedative. Planet's Mercy, Planet's Mercy. Can I buy that here? Was that something I just bought from this guy?
Come on in. Hope you find what it is you're looking
for. The puns. No, I have Planet's Splendor. It's Planet's Mercy that I need. Okay.
Quam again.
Yeah, those supposed dad jokes, those hurt. Okay. Oh, is it O? It's like shining through over there, right? There we go. Here are the bunnies. It definitely has that Super Saiyan God color to it, doesn't it? Emerald. Banging into a wall, apparently. Alright, it's just the next course over here.
Yeah. Hey, Shawnee. Just so you know, if you really want to write Apathy, that's cool with me.
I'm done with writing.
Oh.
Apathy's been a part of my family for years. Ever since I was little. We rode together so much, we could tell what each other was thinking. And we never had a crash. During my last race, I hit another...
So, the reason why I smiled at that is because it's great when things are easy, right? It's like I can use a great example with this. My friends and I, one of the first fighting games I ever got into was Tekken. I'll probably have to say this again when I start my series on Tekken, because I am under no illusion that a lot of people watch this that I'm doing now, so I'll probably have to repeat it for those who actually might start enjoying Tekken. But Tekken was one of the very first fighting games I really got into. Like, Tekken Tag 2 was my favorite. Like, I used to draw we had the strategy guide. I think it was Prima's strategy guide. I used to draw Kazuya out of that. I think he's like right on the front cover. He was also on the front cover of the PlayStation one, now that I think about it. Anyway. So Tekken 2 was my favorite. Kazuya was my favorite. Again, villain, go figure. But this one was a villain with the dad complex, whose dad like tossed him off of a cliff, Maybe I'll get into... I wasn't tossed off a cliff, but my dad wasn't around and abandoned me too, so... well, actually, I don't know if that's fair. He didn't abandon us, that's why. I actually found out later on that he tried to reach out, but my mom would move so often that he wouldn't be able to figure out where we were. So that's actually not really fair on him. So I take that back. But at the time, I kind of felt that way. So I'm kind of talking about what I felt at that time, even though it was incorrect. But... I related to Kazuya, and I really love the way he dressed. Like, he's a man of style. I'm trying to lose weight now in order to look good in in kind of suits and stuff like that. And it's probably because I have that kind of inspiration. Anyway, Tekken Tag 2 was one of my favorites. I played it in the arcade every chance I could get. And, Tekken 3, they killed him off. So I fell out of Tekken. But then in Tekken 4, they brought him back with all the scars and everything, because they put him back, like the G-Force put him back together. And then I got into not Tekken 4, but Tekken Tag, because that kind of scratched that itch that would eventually become like the Versus series for me with Marvel vs. Capcom that started with Children of the Atom. But in Tekken Tag, like, my friends and I would play that all throughout the night, and it would be like a winner-take-all, king of the hill type of thing. So if you win, you get to hold on to the controller, and you get to get better. That's what I loved about it. So I would have this thing where it was like me and my best friend at the time. My best friend at the time is one I talked about before, Tiato, the one who taught me how to play that ukulele right there. Either now is in prison. My best friend at the time, he was my competition. It was me and him who were really good. So I would basically, I would win, and then I would go through his brothers and an uncle or two who would want to play, but they would be fairly easy, and they would come back to him, and he and I would have the best fights, like the ones everybody would cheer for. I just remember this one instance where I had Kazuya and Jin, and, it was he had countered me, and then he went to attack, and then I countered him and flung him around with Jin's counter, and everybody blew up. Like, whoa, that was so awesome. Anyway, he and I started feeling a little way, like, we're really good, because obviously we're only playing a bunch of other, his brothers who don't know much about fighting games, but then he and I were like, we had our strategies down so much that we thought we were good. But then go to an arcade and we find out not only are we not good, we play the game wrong. Like, I had no idea what Korean backdash was back then. I had no idea of like sidestep block and things like. I had no idea how deep Tekken went. So it bursted our bubble, much like Shawnee is here. Like, well, everything was great, and then something happened. And see, that's the thing, though. Janoff Bowman talks about trauma as being shattered illusion or shattered misconception. And if you build your identity, luckily we didn't. I mean, I didn't build my identity on being a great Tekken player, but imagine if I did, right? Imagine if my identity as being like the Big Island's best Tekken player was part of my childhood. And then I went to the mainland and I got smoked by the competition, which is what would have happened because I wasn't even like a D tier good fighting game player when I started realizing how much they took fighting games and how other fighting games communities around the world would actually compete worldwide. I had no idea that even existed. I was in an island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, had no idea that kind of stuff was going on. But imagine if like my identity was so much so that was kind of like a foundational principle to my identity. When I go to the mainland and I fight people and then I get smoked by them, that would crush me, right? Because if you can imagine the way you secure your identity, when you secure your identity by certain preconceived, I know there's a name for it. I'm like trying to gather the name from it. As hyperpriors. If I have built this persona about what Justin is as being one of the best Tekken players in the island, and that becomes kind of my hyperprior, then all my interactions based on that, the people I meet, the people I talk to, the experiences that I have, they all become linked in this networking web of built on that conception. So when that hyperprior is destroyed, when that illusion is destroyed, every web, every branch that was connected to it falls as well. And the trauma that you experience is indicative of how many other experiences and other truths relied on that hyperprior right there. So I can completely understand this right here. If Shawnee was obviously a young individual, she thought she was the great Chocobo rider, and then that hyperprior is destroyed, where this communication that she thought she had, she had a crash, and that kind of wakes her up to her illusion of control at the time, and then they quit. But see, that's the thing. On the road to mastery, you are going to run into these conflicts. You are going to have certain of your hyperpriors shattered. Because I would argue, at the novice section, you have a lot of misconceptions on how the game should be played at the highest level. Right? And it's only through experience, playing the game over and over and over again, do you start to distill that and then replace it with something else, and then replace it with a new way to play, and a new way, and a new way, and you're just getting better and better on the road to mastery. Well, in order to get to that in order to traverse that road of mastery and get to that end goal, you have to understand that your illusions are going to be shattered. It's like when you start a job for the first time. What do you know? You've only done a little bit of training. You have no idea what it takes to do this day by day. And so when you get there, you play the fool, I think about that Cuba Gooding Jr. father, Cuba Gooding Sr., right? Everybody plays the fool. That's absolutely right. Everybody plays the fool sometimes. There's no exception to that rule right there. And it's like, well, how are you going to approach it? Are you going to approach it where once it happens, you quit? Because I guarantee you're not going to make mastery that way. Or you won't even get through like the first week of a new job if you aren't willing to play the fool. That might be one of the objective lessons that exist in humanity. You are going to play the fool sometimes. There's no exception to that rule. Anybody who tries something new, I'm not trying to rhyme anymore, but anybody who tries something new understands this. They're gonna play the fool when they try something new. So it's like, well, Shani over here, I'm sorry, Shani, you're a loser. You know, this idea that you expected to be at that level without going through the painstaking rebuilding of yourself on the road to mastery is just an illusion, you know? And honestly, I'm seeing this nowadays because obviously I teach philosophy and I teach ethics. So being that I teach ethics, I kid you not, the majority of students that come through my door week one, they all believe they are experts at ethics. They haven't thought about it very deeply. A lot of them have the knowledge of ethics of like a 6-year-old or 7-year-old, and maybe not even that, because at least a 6 or 7-year-old I have seen say, oh, I don't want to do that because I wouldn't want somebody to do that to me. You know, a very Kantian notion of not to do unto others, but act in a way that you would want somebody else to do that. You know, the categorical imperative, you know, and they can at least understand that. But I have students that come in and think that's a subjective idea. Anyway, I'm getting too far into that right there. The point here is, how do you expect to know everything that you need to know in order to gain mastery when you just started something, or you haven't ventured out into the real world, or you haven't competed with everyone else? You know, when I was young, I thought I was that good, and then, you know, my my illusion was destroyed by the reality of the situation. And I am by no means a fighting game expert, but I at least knew enough to where my favorite fighting game of all time, Dragon Ball FighterZ, I was able to go to Evo, and I did pretty well by my standards. I actually did pretty well by even my coach's standards, because the first time I went to Evo, normally people who go to such a big event like Evo, you know, they get 0-2'd, you know, they lose their first 2 and they're knocked out. I actually made it out of pools on my first day. Pools. I made it out of my pool the first day and actually got to the second day. And I only did that by hiring a coach, taking it serious, and seeing the road to mastery as one of disillusion and rebuilding. I would have to destroy the way I was playing the game and rebuild it with a much more masterful way of playing the game. That's what I kind of look forward to when it comes to Tekken. I'm going to have to shatter my illusions. When I watch my favorite Kazuya player, the main man Sui, when he plays, I am just in awe of not only the way he plays Kazuya, but the way he handles the matchups, the way he has a strong understanding of the people he's playing against, which is what Kazuya kind of demands. When I start, I am under no illusions that I'm going to be playing it right. In fact, I know I'm going to be playing it wrong. But see, that's the thing, Shani. You're going to have to play the fool. You're going to have your hyper priors destroyed. You're going to have to destroy the illusions that you carry. That's necessary for mastery. You have to destroy the factual information you're carrying. Even if it destroys the other hyperpriors in your world, what you must understand is you were relying on a web of illusions. Now, some of you might say, well, then I might as well just stick with the world of illusions. And I can't help you there. Wanting to live truthfully is a leap in faith in and of itself. One thing I will say, though, is that analyzing and figuring out how to move and basing your idea and your world on truth is the only human way we know of freedom. That is to say, Plato once surmised that reason, our capacity to reason and move forward based on reason, is what separates human beings from animals. Because animals are pure instinct. Hungry, scared, afraid or fearful, and horny or whatever it is. So obviously I'm using the horse of the Phaedrus. We only move forward with reason. We only move forward freely if we use our faculties of reason to move forward. So you might want to live in a world of ignorance, but then you're like a rudderless ship, to take the Confucian example. You know, you're just going to move in the waters of the world. You aren't actually going to make a free decision that way, and that's kind of what ignorance provides. You know, you're susceptible to somebody else's knowledge. One of the best examples I can give you is if you have no mechanical understanding, you have to cede all of your freedom and autonomy to a mechanic who's going to charge you whatever they think they can charge you. You know, if you don't have the knowledge, you are a slave to the decision of what that individual is going to make right there. You know, so I've kind of gone quite a ways around, but the fact of the matter is this idea that you're not going to have the way you do things as being challenged on the road to mastery just seems ignorant. Because again, everybody plays the fool sometimes, and there's no exception to that rule.
And fell. As soon as I hit the dirt, I looked up and saw the feet, the claws, coming right at me. Every time I close my eyes, I see them again.
Near-death experience.
I'd like to be alone, okay?
So that's how it's gonna be. Fine. I'll give poor Apony the exercise she needs.
Yeah, live in fear for the rest of your life, or do something about it, right? Oh. There we go.
I really don't feel like talking right now. Just go.
There we go. Hit the right one. I wonder if those ores are necessary for some of the things I want to build. Man, I used to love jet games back in the day. Ace Combat and such. Okay. Oh, I know you're coming back this way eventually. Okay, there we go. Oh, you see, it's not reversed. Okay, okay. I'm expecting to hit up and go down and hit down and go up. Like the inverted controls of like an Ace Combat. As I just said that,
This is great.
I went the wrong way. Yeah. They're not inverted controls. It's so funny. It's like my instinct realized that before my rationality realized that. Oh, wait. Where's the rest then? Oh, wait. I fell for it then.
Man.
I think I have to take a look at the course first before I hit R2. Maybe that's the point. I'm supposed to take a look at the course before hitting R2. So what did I fall for? I went down there. So then what? Because there's no other one. And then that rockets me back up to go there. Oh, that's going to be interesting when I get over there. But that was weird. How did I miss that though? How do I get that? You forego it? I mean, unless there's a way like to go down and up and like use the propel motion. Like a dive bomb and a pull up kind of thing. I'll give it a shot. I kind of have a feeling that's what I'm supposed to do. Alright. Nope, wrong way. Boom, then up. Yes, okay. That is what I'm supposed to do. Yep. Ooh, just hit it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Ah, not enough. Shucks. Not bad, though. At least I figured it out, right? Good enough to move on in the story. Although part of me wants those ores now. And now I'm doing side quests. How long I've been doing this?
I mean, we could have done way better.
Hour and a half.
Force a chocobo to do what you want. You should have established a bond with Apony before heading out.
So I should do it like you,
on the
huh?
same page when you're running a course.
You don't say. Then why don't you, a real jockey, show us how it's done?
I sound like a haha.
Going home.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, you pushed a little too hard. That certainly backfired.
Yeah. No need to rub it in. Come on, let's catch up with her.
No. I need to try this again. Yeah. Okay, yes. Cosmolite ore. Not even in Cosmocadian yet.
Giddy up, girl!
When I realized there was a community who loved Tekken, I started watching videos and stuff like that. Of course, all Kazuya. So this is how old I am. My favorite Kazuya player was Letty from Korea. After him was Ryan Hart, who is still, very well known and very well respected in the community. Oh god, I missed it. Like, I held it too long. Woohoo! Ah, so wait. I can't hit the side? I have to, like... I have to really work on that.
Giddy up, girl!
Alright. It's so funny. There are so many people who really like Yuffie, and I understand that. I've never liked those kind of female characters. The Yuffies, the Vanilles, that kind of poppy, childish. I've never liked those kind of female characters. That was pretty good. Okay, let's see. Alright, I'll take it. No, that was legitimately the Ace Combat controls right there again. Ah, you sucker. They're gonna move away from me. Both of them, huh? Wow, what a bummer. That was the Ace Combat controllers biting. Okay, last one, everyone. Last one. And then we'll move on. It's funny, I was grumbling about side missions because they don't add anything. This is another one that doesn't add anything. Just a random chocobo jockey that lost her edge. Now, the thing is near-death experiences, that may be more than just Shattered Illusion. I mean, I could make the argument it's probably Shattered Illusion in that it's like, well, I mean, have you seen their feet? Did you ever think what would happen if you fell off while racing? It's like, kind of par for the course there. Wouldn't you expect that exactly to happen? Like, your life is going to be in danger in that specific way, Yeah, that was just pure faith in the fact that I was gonna turn in time. Wow, what can I do about that if my timing's not there, you know? I don't seem to be getting enough height at the end. That's okay. I'll play it on my spare time. Alright, there's another course though, isn't there? Course number 3 and then 4, so there'll be one more after that. Yeah, we'll do that another time.
Chocobo, choco, chocobo. I'm on a chocobo. You're on a chocobo.
I'm assuming this is the way. Yeah.
Hey, so I've been meaning to ask you something. You said old Sephiroth's come back from the dead, right? And that's a bad thing. So, what I want to know is, how'd he do it? And what's he after?
He wants to save the planet.
But wouldn't that make him a good guy?
It's not what he's doing, but how. He doesn't give a shit if everyone dies in the process.
Sounds like a total nutter. I mean, there's not much point in having a planet if there's no one left to enjoy it, is there?
That said, let's not forget that we still got a whole nother problem. One that's reared its ugly head time and time again. Bunch of assholes who won't stop till they flare the planet dry. Shinra.
So I want you folks to think about that, because that's actually a very interesting concept that Cloud just said there. It's not the end goal, it's how it's achieved. Do you folks believe that? Because I'll tell you, I've been teaching ethics for some time right now. There are many who do not agree with that right there. They're like, by all means necessary, the end goal. When I provide the trolley problem, 98% of the people will flip the switch. Kill the 1 and spare the 5. But as nurses, I'll ask them then, well, what if you're a doctor and you have to kill a patient that comes in that's healthy just because they are a donor who matches the transplant organs of like 10 other clients that you have, you know? If you can imagine what was it, 7 pounds or something like that? I think it was the Will Smith movie where he donated his organs to help a bunch of other people. He wanted to find out what kind of individuals they were, so that way his life would produce more life. Well, why isn't that being done then? Why can't a doctor just a healthy patient that just comes in for a routine checkup because there's a bunch of individuals who could use their organs right there? Why not? Well, you want to be able to help these people. You want them to receive the organs that they want to receive and live on, but it matters how it's done. And that's exactly what Cloud is saying here. It's not about the end goal. It's about how that goal is reached. This is something Kant couldn't stand about the Humeans, the ones who followed David Hume. He's like, no way. Since when do the consequences hold any kind of moral judgment whatsoever? The consequences of the action are mere scientific cause and effect. You know, it's like the is and ought issue, right? When you're analyzing the consequences, you're in the is territory. You're just analyzing the scientific cause and effect of the action, or the results of an action. There's no morality injected into that. Morality comes into the intentions behind the action. You know, if a bunch of people are in a plane crash, that is sad. That is tragic. But then when you find out that the pilot had a death wish and he wanted to kill everyone on that plane, now it becomes immoral. You see? I would also make the argument that one reason for the the godly concept is the necessary element to inject morality into cases that don't need it. Like, everything happens for a reason. Well, that reason is behind that reason is some kind of string of destiny of like gods that are choosing to do this or do that. And when something bad happens, therefore it is the evil god that's doing it. And if something good happens, then it's the good god. That way, you know, nothing happens for a reason. I mean, this is like an argument that I was making my undergraduate. So it's not something I actually believe in now. It's just I'm making the argument. I'm making the case for you folks right now. You could see how there would be that kind of necessity, because there's a necessity to inject morality into almost every action to give it some kind of weight. Oh, I think it's called, in bioethics, they call it normative dominance. So normativity seems to hold the highest characteristic, the highest value for us humans. When something is a moral norm, a normative norm, it automatically jumps to the head of the line as far as importance. So much so that, you know, etiquette is dissolved for moral norms, as it should be. You know, aesthetic is dissolved for moral norms. Although there was a particular war where the invading people had no problem destroying everyone until they put up like priceless works of art, and then they didn't do it anymore. So maybe in some sense aesthetics might actually supersede normative norms. But see, there is this incessant need to add normativity to it in order to give it more meaning than just a chaotic happenstance, you see? So, as Cloud is demonstrating here, is something uniquely human in a very deontological, intuitional sense. The end goal must be achieved by moral or noble means. It's not that Sephiroth wants to save the planet. Saving the planet would make him a good guy if it was done through an ethical way, which is fantastic because Kate Sith kind of asks that. Like, well, what does that make him the good guy? Well, I don't know. The devil is punishing people in hell. Wouldn't that make him the good guy? No, because he's not punishing them for a moral reason. He's insidiously punishing them because, you know, he enjoys it. He enjoys the malevolence of the world, and he enjoys continuing that malevolence in that underground territory. So no, he's not moral. Punishing evil people it is considered usually a trait of the hero, but it matters how they go about it. You know, that's why, you know, Batman versus like Superman, right? Superman will just do it. He'll just kill the Joker. But Batman's like, no, as heroes, we need to be above just killing. We have to believe that there's some power in redemption. And what separates us is we can be the judge, but we can't be the executioner type of thing. So yeah, it's a phenomenal understanding of morality that I think is unfortunately not understood nowadays. It's not just the end goal. It matters how you get there.
Hit 'em where it hurts. We'll need to leverage those connections of yours. But if you even think about stabbing us in the back, I'm gonna hug and squeeze you to death. You hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, suddenly the hugging that he was enjoying is not so good anymore because it's coming from a malevolent intention to hug and squeeze him to death. Maybe a perfect example to show just the difference that they're trying to elucidate right here.
Here we go. Don't overdo it.
I'll show you what I can do. Here.
Oh, I'm trying to Colonel Aegis. There we go. Sentinel stance is X, okay.
So it's my turn?
Let's do this. Take the lead.
Tagging out.
Ready when you are.
They're not attacking him. That's one of the problems.
For you.
No wonder we won.
gonna have to try to make sure I focus on him. Maybe I'll bring Red out first and then kind of get the hate, get the aggro.
Behold Cosmo Canyon.
Behold.
A sacred sanctuary where the planet's greatest minds gather.
It's beautiful. More than I ever imagined. Come on, let's pick up the pace. I can hear it calling my name.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but Aerith's might actually mean she hears something calling her name. Because while Barrett is trying to speak of the being the prophet from a, I would say, much more of an illusory place, Aerith might legitimately hear it. So that's probably the final course right there. Right by Cosmo Canyon, too. Wow. All right, I'm going to save it right here and just take a little break, but I will be coming back. All right, we are back. Let's go to Cosmo Canyon.
Hey, guys! It's me!
Whoa.
I'm back! Nanaki? I can't believe it.
Talk about immediately turning into where you were when you left, right?
We were so worried. Oh, come on.
Whoa.
Now, why don't you go pay your respects to fellow Bugenhagen? Come on.
There we go. There's the music.
You can let them through. They're good people. I promise. After all, they're the reason I'm here.
What in the hell was that?
I don't know. He's got like two personalities in him.
Hey guys, it's me. Who?
He did say he was from here, so he did preface that.
Real quick, gotta check something. An airship dropped these on us this morning. Wanted
It's us.
posters.
Oh wait,
The
no, they
terrorists
changed
who
it.
bombed those reactors.
They changed it. Reeve changed it, yeah.
But I think we can say you had nothing to do with all that. Even if Nanaki hadn't vouched for you, it's obvious. Welcome to the sanctum of planets.
Because we all know
Cosmo
that's
Canyon.
Reeve. I like that he represents Kateseth. He kind of represents that not all Shinra is bad. Like, remember, these people supply individuals with power. They supply people with electricity. Electricity isn't inherently bad, you know? Because if you're an environmentalist, you'll destroy humanity from the sense of what's better for the planet. It's like the new modern paganism that we have. Like all these other third world countries that would need to rely on fossil fuels in order to get themselves to a position where they can build renewable resources. We're like, nah, you guys don't get to. We did, but you guys don't get to. Under the guise of virtue. Oh, this is going to be like a... Oh. Well, I was going to say this is like a ritual or something like that, but kind of has the ambiance of a fighting ring, you know? Oh, it's a bonfire. That's cool. We have those in... Well, we used to have them in Kilkaha in Hawaii. I used to go to them all the time. But then again, it was a reason to drink when I was young, and I never needed a reason to drink.
I'm afraid I can't let you pass.
Without a Bugenhagen's permission. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Stand here today, alive and well, having overcome the challenge.
Hearken to the wisdom of the
Going up. Oh, it's undergoing maintenance. Okay. It's because I'm white. Once they give them permission, I'll be able to use it. Racist. Obviously, I'm speaking like I'm Cloud, but...
This place is divine. I can't believe it got a
Oh, let's play. Yup.
Is that SSL? Used to be a soldier. Lots of hand signals. That's how Shinra Sign Language came to be a thing. I know the basics.
And they developed a sign language, huh? Oh, we're playing. Since I actually have a game plan here too. Oh, wow, I did not get what I needed. Okay. Jesus. It's really unlucky. Thank goodness, finally. And it didn't take it. That's really interesting. I could play for the Great Marlborough in there. I kind of worry that it's going to play something to take that. Yeah, so let's take care of that. I wonder why that guy got destroyed. See, that's what I was worried about. Had no idea that existed, but that's why. Okay. Shucks. I'm gonna force you to play whatever it is you have. Interesting. Copper Wire is gonna be able to destroy those too. Yeah, I can only pass now. But I have so much because he keeps destroying my people. Put one more there. He probably will win because he only needs to put one more there. Oh, I won because we tied the middle. It was an interesting fight, though. Might have to figure out how to place on top like that.
That was a good fight, though. Hang on. Are you at... Solid idea.
There's another great player nearby. You know. Can't ignore this guy when he pops up all the time, right?
Congratulations! You have attained the rank as such. Allow me to brief you on an advanced Queen's Blood AI named Wise. I suspected might prove a work.
Wise. Interesting. The Dust Bowl. Well, I'll have to backtrack for that one. Not going to do that now. Okay. Alright, how do I get up there?
This is the famous cave hotel.
There we go.
Okay, now this is what I call being in the great outdoors.
Sounds like tourists.
The luminance of materia?
Right. How can I be of service?
There's so much I'm not using.
Please come again.
Wow, I can already feel myself becoming one with the planet.
Turn in my
The
books.
history of Magnata books can be traced back to Cosmocan.
Alright, what do we have? Wind magic without needing. I want him to be hold the button to gather strength and team up with your partner to unleash a charged attack. Nah. Fire magic. What's this? Cloud and red, hone their focus. I'll take that. That is the tag team. Oh, reduce physical damage. That's so good for him. Okay, what about you? Critical rate. Increase synergy skills and synergy abilities by 5%. I don't really use a lot of detrimental skill effects with her. Oh, that's good. My healer. Heal. Sure. Red. All right. Yeah, would like that to happen more. Increase the damage boost or safe. That's pretty good. Ah, I kind of wanted to. Oh wait, I don't know if I want that. Kind of like the siphon thing. Yeah. Is that it? Yeah. Okay.
Itself. Our great mother's memories will always be here for you.
So up here is where I gotta go.
I was born and raised here, in this canyon.
It's his wise voice again.
I was to become a watcher of the veil like those before me, until I was taken by Shinra. Now that I'm home and have repaid my debt to you, I plan to serve my village once more. I appreciate all that you've done for me. Thank you.
We're really gonna miss you, Red.
Oh, don't say that. You're only making this harder.
Sound like Marty McFly.
I wish we had more time, but this is my duty.
I suppose it was your duty to act the old man.
I wanted you to treat me as an equal, not a dog.
Not a pig. Is that you, my boy?
There he is. I wanted you to treat me as an equal.
Was that goodbye?
Nah, I'm sure we'll see him around the canyon. The real question is, why'd we come here? to learn the secrets of planetology. Come on.
Can't forget that materia.
Oh man, this is going to be a great scene. It was such an epic scene in Final Fantasy VII. I can't wait to see what they do.
I'm gonna steal some shut-eye, if you don't mind.
Then we can see the sights.
Time to make friends. Oh, wait. Is there another player? There is another player.
Very souls. Devote yourself to our planet. Only then shall you know love and...
There's also a sister soon.
Oh, they're sticking with me.
The card, Traveler. You've more than a passing interest in deities. It is Queen's blood is of the planet and for the
Going the
planet.
Yu-Gi-Oh route, yeah?
Like all things, is part of the great cycle that can indeed. Each and every card holds within it a greater purpose. Come, join me in a match that you too may glimpse the truth of our great...
It's getting way more out of it than other people, right? And I gotta admit, I do this with philosophy, you know? I'd probably be seen as being guilty there as well, of doing that with philosophy. Adding more into it, you know? Wow, these hands haven't been the best. I need to get rid of the Marlboro. I think I want to put the replacement card on there. Time to start destroying things. A little too late, huh? Takes the middle. Takes everything. Yep, that was unfortunate. So actually, I need to edit. This Marlboro is not doing really well. It did well once and never again. So, what is that? When destroyed, raise the power of allied cards by 2. Okay. Easy to destroy with that guy. First time this card is enhanced, raise the power of allied cards. And what else is new? When first enhanced, lower the power of enemy cards by 2. Interesting. Gigatoad. Destroy an allied card and replace it. Oh. Interesting. Kind of want to try that. You too? Destroy an allied card and replace it, but the other way. So it's those stars, huh? Replace an allied card and raise the power of allied card on affected tile bar. I kind of want to do this one instead. Let's try that. Yeah, okay, let's try this. I go, if I don't get that worm down that fast, it's an issue. See, now I can actually get the game started right here. But I need to get this backyard done like that. Okay. Boom, boom. Okay. They can take it back. Yeah. Yeah, because might be able to put something on top of somebody. By 4, 3. I'll destroy that. Finally out of cards, huh? That's really cool. I know what the Cactar. Should probably take a look at the Cactar again. Enhance the raise power of allied enemy cards and affect the top by 4. Lower the power. Enfeebled. Lower. So I don't know what enfeebled does. So I'm going to have to double check that.
I did not expect. A strange, wicked pall hangs over the light, and a similar dark energy has corrupt. Be careful. The game's pleasures belie the thorns beneath. Many devotees have succumbed to the darkness of which I spoke. Too many. Remember, the cards are a link between us and the... Oh, great mother, hear my prayer.
Oof.
Watch over your son.
Taking that prophecy, huh? Oh, and another set over here. Is there something I'm supposed to be seeing? Yeah. Oh. That was kind of in the way. Watcher to be.
Since time immemorial. Tell me, is wicked thoughts begun? Good vibes.
Oh, man. This does come off as like a tourist attraction.
Oh, hello, sir. Well, you might be the... But there's a... That's right, to up the ante.
Quite a few more I gotta play. That looked like a great card, though. Wow, that looked like a great card. Got the worm that I need. Get rid of you. You. Yeah, just in case, though, because I might need the security officer. Thought so. Straight for the gusto, huh? Okay. Had a feeling it had something like that, too. Okay. How much do you take away? 3. Okay. Take it back. Oh, that's such a good card. Yeah, I'm gonna start taking back stuff too. But not now. Guess I'm gonna make you make a decision now, huh? Well, if I destroy that, then they go right there. They'll take it right back. I feel like they'll still take it, that's why. Ugh. Oh no. But now I take this, right? And then now I'm gonna take that. Or possibly. Okay, no, I gotta take that now. She's gonna take that. Probably take that. Still gonna lose though. Okay. So that's the thing. I need to figure out. That is a really good 1 cost right there. I'm just gonna say. Yeah, that 3 cost is insane. Oh. Let's see, taking it back, man. I need the rooster, and I'll be able to destroy that thing. Nope, not anymore. And there she is. Oh well. Still win. I still win. How much you kept powering me up, that's why. What is this card? When the first enfeebled, lower the power of enemy cards on affected tiles by 2. That is still an insane... Oh, okay. Not so good anymore.
I'm lucky I got it. He made a series. Something tells better start. Congratulations. Though we found the key. Stay tuned because we've got more coming your way.
Tell me, is it better to spread the teachings of planetology to others, or to focus on deepening our own understanding?
Within you all, the planet's thoughts.
hold. I think we have the trial too after we see the space show. Nanaki. And he's gone. Can let me look. I've been so curious on how far they're going to go with this.
Oh, these are the friends I was talking about.
Never occurred to me that he's standing on a ball. I don't know why. It just was like his feet were just circular.
I teach planetology here.
Of course he's standing on one.
One could say I know a thing or two about our world.
A thing or two? I doubt there's a thing or two you don't know about it.
Well, it might seem that way to a child like yourself.
I'm not a child anymore. I'm 48.
40 what?
Nanaki here has a long life ahead of him. In human terms, I would say he's about 15 or 16 years old.
Sounds like he's 6.
That's more than old enough. I can protect our Vale and everyone in it. Which is more than I can say for my good-for-nothing father.
Speaking of the members of our little community, have you announced your return to one and all, Nanaki?
Not yet. Be right back.
But where are my manners? Please, come in and have a look around.
Alright, they've left. Gadgets and gizmos aplenty. That's a Little Mermaid shout out, correct? You got who's its and what's its galore. If you want thingamabobs.
Only
They have
those
plenty.
who have the key, as well as fellow Bugenhagen's permission, are allowed inside.
Alright, check out the observatory. Can't go too far. Could go anywhere I wanted when the 2 girls were with me, but now that they're gone, can't go too far. Man, Barrett's gonna want to be here for this demonstration. Can't talk to her. Can talk to you.
Anakin never had much exposure to the outside world. I can only hope his travels with you have served to enlighten him. Whoa, whoa. Those devices are testing the pull of gravity.
I never thought you could become even more.
While that may appear to be little more than a glistening mineral at a glance, it is in fact a crystallized collection of our planet's memories.
That would be interesting if, like, all the crystals of the planet hold actual memories. That's kind of like Avatar.
That records fluctuations in various energies. I must ask that you handle it with care. It's a rather delicate device, you see.
Astrophysics. God. When I see this kind of stuff, obviously fashioned after the old, I think of how much smarter our ancients were than we are. As a lover of philosophy. I'm often astonished just how brilliant they were back then. They were ignorant in other ways, though, but still.
That's a scale model of our planet and
Much
the
more
surrounding
wise.
stars. One could say the dust it's collected represents the people who live
People
among
nowadays are trying to make an argument on why they should think rationally. I kid you not, by the way. I actually get those questions. I have students ask, why should I even think rationally? Others are like, why should I even analyze my own beliefs? Like, legitimately asking why they need to analyze their own beliefs. That's, I guess, when I hear that kind of stuff, it makes me think much more fondly of the ancients, because they didn't need, like, first of all, the person who told you there's no such thing as a dumb question lied to you. And two, it's like, our ancients understood that there are certain things you need to know. That was one of them. Why is Nanaki interesting?
You recognize that little scamp? I'll have you know that in his childhood, Nanaki was quite a handful.
Praying. Oh, I did not mean to. I was just trying to double check that this person was in fact praying.
Countless lessons over the years.
Yes, they have.
That is one of the first Mako detectors ever built.
Yeah, he is. He does have Mako in him.
Though I suspect it can't detect much now.
Oh, that's going to be the observation room. This is going to be so good. Okay, so no more stairs. Oh, there are more stairs. Okay. The balloon.
That right there is a type of a current generator. It harnesses the power of the wind to produce new air flows
Power
of its
of the
own.
wind.
Perhaps you've encountered them before during your travels.
Yeah. Just used them to run those races that I couldn't perfect. Adrenaline, huh? Alright. Planet's Mercy. Still need more.
You won't find a larger telescope on the planet. With it, you can see to the edge of the galaxy. There's no better view of the stars than through this scope. But the lens could do with some cleaning. My apologies.
There is so much we have yet to learn about the universe.
The lights we observe here have traveled to us from the far reaches of time and space to gaze at the stars.
Is this who I need to speak to? No, I guess not.
But that's just how we're wired. Humans can't help but fixate on the past, on what used to be.
Now what? The lowest level. Okay. So I guess pretty sure I came through that corner. All the way back down to the lower.
That again, huh?
The weapons. guess
A
not.
sorrowful dirge indeed. One I've heard all too often of late. This tubing allows us on the surface to hear the inner voice of the planet.
What we just heard didn't come from the planet, though. That was definitely the voice of a weapon.
You seem awfully sure of yourself, miss.
Oh, she was stuck in the middle of it.
Them with our own eyes. 2 in the Corel and Gungaga reactors. They were loud and huge.
A fascinating account, were it true. However, such grand delusions could be a sign of Mako poisoning. Do see a doctor.
Excuse me?
Oh. Yes. That would do them some good. Judging from everything you've said, the 3 of you are unfamiliar with basic planetology. But it is never too late to learn.
There we go.
Please, come with me.
Let's see how well they do at this planetary scene, because it was amazing in the original. High bar indeed.
I present to you our planetarium. While the Shinra building features the latest iteration, this particular one is my original design. Now then, without further ado,
Beautiful.
Wow.
this is only the beginning.
A shooting star.
Planetology is not simply the study of the cosmos and the celestial bodies that dwell in it. Rather, it is a quest to comprehend the cyclical nature of life. Behold, the planet we call home. It was from its soil, so teeming with life, that mankind was born. And like all living things, man is fated to die. So, what happens next? The body withers and returns to the planet. But what of the mind, the spirit, the soul? Much like its former vessel, it too returns whence it came. To the great river where all intertwine and circle the planet without end. A cycle of continuous convergence and divergence. The ceaseless ebb and flow that is the life stream. An apt name, though it is as much a reservoir as it is a stream, being the sum of the planet's spiritual energy. It is the very essence of our...
So I guess in some way, if you think about it, the life stream being that it's our soul and our consciousness going back into the planet, and it's that energy that is pulled, that Shinra uses, then technically they are using energy. They are siphoning souls in order to produce their energy. And what's really interesting about that is technically technology relies on the inventions of people who come before them. So there is this soul of the inventor that moves throughout time, and then people stand on their shoulders and progress and invention and innovation. So in a way, they live on through the inventions themselves. But when it comes to the life stream, it's almost like we're burning the dead. It's almost like we're burning the souls. We're destroying the spirits in the energy that we're producing. So it's almost like progress burns, or not progress, a specific kind of progress. Technology burns the people who came before it, which is really interesting because there's a old Buddhist saying that materialism can do nothing but take from you. It can never give. So material pursuits only take from your soul. They don't add to it. So things like love, for example, love isn't a material goal. You know, love is more akin to fire in that the love that you have and you share with another, it's like a candle's flame being added to another candle's flame. It doesn't take anything from the candle flame to light another fire. But materialism, and especially when it comes to technology, in this metaphor, it destroys the souls of the people who came before it. So maybe in a way, technology does destroy the soul of people. The strive for pure materialism takes from you. It can never give. Could be something there in the metaphor.
Star. The blood coursing through its planetary veins. And if ever that essence were to be entirely depleted,
Kind of like that he pulled from it in the first one, but we're not playing like a cut-for-cut remake.
these are but basic principles of planetology.
So you're saying that Mako is spiritual energy, which we're using up.
Just so.
Oh, okay. So there's another thing right there too. Mako, the technology revolution, is using up the spirit energy. I think there's something to be said about how innovation in this industrial age has led to a more secularization of our world. It's like we get to play the role of creators, which is fine. It's okay to play the role of creators. I'm a father. I got to partake in the divine action of creation in the two children I was able to create. So there's nothing inherently wrong with creation, but the technological revolution, I don't think it's odd to make the correlation of the technical revolution and the course of secularism. Because obviously technology relies heavily on science and industry, not so much on religious wisdom. Although some could make the case that the foundations of the scientific theory are based on religious ideas of finding the objective divine within the world itself, like the sparks of God that exist out in the world. But the technological revolution seems to be leading to a certain secularism where we're using up spiritual energy. We are losing the spiritual grip on the world. And so this pure devotion, I think that's where the problem is. It's not the creation, it's the devotion. Maybe the obsessive devotion, where there is only the machine, there is only the mechanical revolution, there is nothing else. That's when we start to go down this road of pure secularism. And I think what we're starting to see, there's a pushback happening now. But definitely there was a move, quite the move forward of pure secular teachings in everything that we do. But see what's happening though? See what's happening with the world? It's becoming very atomistically individual. And as a replacement to the secular, the replacement to the religious or spiritual beliefs, the secular beliefs are now promoting a new God. Some believed it would be the God of the government, but that doesn't seem like it's so. It's almost what we're seeing nowadays is like separate gods of destruction, if I had to put a point on it. So we see gods of destruction in kind of postmodernism, where the concepts of truth are being destroyed. Like there's actual people that don't believe truth even exists anymore. Again, something I say often. I think people in about 20 or 30 years are going to look back and see the point of absurdity when they said math was racist. That is an absolute postmodernist attack on the institution of objectivity right there, and again, I'm seeing it now with a lot of my students who come in and say, why should I even analyze my beliefs? Or there is no such thing as truth in the world, or there's not just one way to live. There are many ways to live and none of them are wrong. It's like, none of the ways we live are wrong. Like, did you sleep through the 1940s? Like, so what the Nazis did, what Stalin did in slaughtering innocent people, none of that was wrong. That's just a difference of opinion. That right there is secularism. That right there is secularism taking over institutions, where the God is now like a god of skepticism when it comes to like the postmodernists. But on the other side, the ones that don't take the postmodernist account, we're seeing pure paganism coming out now. Like now there's a god of Gaia. There's like Gaia's returning as a god now, where it's like anything can be done that helps the earth. But even in these discussions, there's something really weird going on in the virtue signaling for the people who believe that we are plagues on the planet. It's that part. They see humanity as a plague. They see humanity as a virus. Like they are perfectly fine with people being sacrificed en masse to the great Gaia spirit, So these are a lot of the things we're seeing as secularism moves forward. It's not like the gods don't go anywhere, Read Marshall Iliad. He has an excellent theory about how you can analyze time as certain gods fighting one another. Because at one time we were like, the god that seems to rule all human hearts is like Ares, the god of war. And then it's like, well, wait a minute. I just saw two armies come together because one side's prince fell in love with another side's princess. And somebody's like, wow, love trumps hate, man. So Aphrodite is just so much stronger than Ares. And it's like, well, we have a better idea of maybe what unifies us as humans. And that could be seen as a battle of the gods throughout time, where it's like one god remains supreme. Or the god of paying attention, or the Judeo-Christian god, the god that calls you out to bear the responsibility as far as like Moses goes, or like the God of Jesus, the one who I want to say brings you back from the brink, but that's not it. It's almost like the one of forgiveness. I don't know. Like I said, this is one of my weak areas. I'm really trying to get stronger in this area. But the Judeo-Christian God seems to be like the God of the Word. So the God of being the God of the knowledge in the world that has a just orientation. Something like that. It's like the spirit in the leap of faith, that if I am speaking truthful things, if I'm saying truthful things, those truthful things align with the world. So one thing I love about like the Christian, the Christian biblical ethics that I'm reading right now is it kind of takes divine command theory and Aristotelianism or Aristotelian virtue theory, and it kind of combines it into like what they call Christian essentialism, where God comes down and he declares orders. He declares a moral order. But that moral order isn't just arbitrary, because it's not a law that's coming out of God's word. It's merely to declare something. What God is doing is he is sharing his character. He's sharing the way he lives. So the moral law, acting within the moral law, is to act and walk with God. And in this way, you become free and are able to take on the responsibilities as being like a shepherd in this world. So like following the moral law makes you a moral individual, allows you to walk with God. And there's a lot of passages in the Bible that discuss Jesus's way as the way of walking with the Lord that makes you free. And I love that freedom element, because sin enslaves, sin entraps. So this is very like Platonic too, where it's like the only way you are free is if you're leading with reason, you know? In the sin sense, sin enslaves you like those other two horses, where those other two horses are in charge. So you have like the horse of sin is pulling you. You're not in charge. You're led by the horse of sin. So the Judeo-Christian concept is like a very metaphysically or meta-ethical prescription on how one ought to act in the most divine sense, on the basis of that is the only way you act free and work within the moral order itself, you know? And nowadays we're losing that. We are losing that. As we move more towards secularism, we see ethics start to crumble. You know, it's kind of what Nietzsche warned about here. And it's like, well, you can ask, well, why do we see ethics crumbling? It's because without God, there's no objective source outside of ourselves that we can hold accountable as being the ethical moral law. Without God, ethics comes from us subjects. And then it's just a matter of one person or many people's opinion. And then say, well, what if you're wrong, as many have been? And it's not just a singular person. We've seen nations get it wrong all the time too, right? So it's like, just because you increase the amount of individuals who believe a certain thing doesn't make that inherently the right one. So bringing it back, these are kind of the warning signs that we see in secularism. And again, we see it here. It's almost like industry, as industry moves forward, we become more secular as a nation, and the spirit of humanity is destroyed or being depleted. So not to the point of its destruction. And you see this right here, where it's like the planet starts crumbling. And it's like, well, I mean, you know, if we deplete the resources of the planet, maybe the planet will become unstable. But think about it more like this sense. The more we subtract the spirit, that religious spirit, from the world, the more the world is on the brink of total destruction. How about that right there? How about that for a warning sign of what Final Fantasy VII is saying here? Take the paganism out of it, take the Gaia aspect out of it, and think more of the technology and secularism versus the religious spirit. If you suck the religious spirit out of the world will be destroyed. We've come to a point that even Richard Dawkins, one of the forefathers of atheism, now says, well, I'm an atheist, but I like to live in a Catholic country, or I'm paraphrasing, but I'm trying to capture what he was saying there. He likes to live with Christian-minded social people, you know? And it's like, well, I mean, okay, there's a lot of people would easily call him a hypocrite, but Richard Dawkins is smarter than I could ever be. So obviously there's a reason for it, but I think the warning signs are clear, you know? You suck the religious spirit from the world, and all you will see is chaos and destruction. Maybe even instability, right? Because the earth, I'm thinking about the image of the earth when it crumbled. It's almost like you see fractures start to happen, and it becomes unstable, and then it falls. So if you suck the religious spirit away, we will just separate and crumble.
Siphoned from the planet and processed for industry. That energy can no longer fulfill its true purpose. It is fated to fuel man's machinery, then fade away.
Okay, but does it actually fade away? I mean, what if it doesn't? What if it just returns to the life stream in a different form?
Oh, that's interesting.
Is that possible?
A form you can't measure.
Novel theory, suggestive of a lack of understanding. However, that can be overcome with time and education.
They're going a bunch of different ways with this guy because we saw the weapon.
Please escort this young lady
So is he wrong?
to our seminar room, would you?
Or are we
Right
wrong?
this way. Okay.
Time for your indoctrination, Tifa.
Can I come?
You did not see what you thought you saw. You need more education. This is interesting. This is an interesting, interesting course they're taking. They're gone. So wait a minute. Do I need to go outside? Or did I go the wrong way out of here? I'm pretty sure there was only one way, right? Yep, okay. I think that's pretty cool, though.
Got a question. Planet runs out of energy. It and everything on it dies, right?
Yes.
There any way to avoid this? Like, making the spiritual energy stronger?
Why are you asking me such things? I'm sorry. I've come to realize that I'm somewhat stuck in the past. We've entered an era in which humanity exerts unprecedented influence over its environs. And as both the planet and society evolve, so too must science. And yet it seems that I cannot. Perhaps I'm much too old of a dog to learn any new tricks.
This is an interesting way, interesting path they're taking with him. It's too bad Barrett didn't get to see that, but trying to think if he saw it in the original.
Thanks so much.
Not that it
for
really
taking
matters.
Such great care of Nanaki. Fellow Bugenhagen instructed me to let you take anything you think might prove useful and check
That's
out the
nice.
storeroom when you have a chance.
Will do. Yeah, it's okay. You okay? Mogul medals. Yeah. Looks like Tifa's old hat. Grandfather clock, because why not? And what's the time say? 4:45. Is there a significance in 4:45? Let me get something to eat. Actually, we need to work out at the gym, yeah? What time is it? 4:04. I obviously got time. I'm not going to eat anymore today. Hey, did you see the weather? Like, is it really bad right now? I haven't been outside. No hail? Okay. Because we have power surges here, and you know, I wouldn't want to lose my PlayStation to the power surges. Crystal megaphone. If I actually used Kate Sith, that would be handy. Or that'd be useful, but I don't. Yeah, alright. Man, where did this take me? Yep, I just popped out of there and took all your guys' stuff. Alright, where are they? Just making sure.
If we've anything to fear, it is not our fellow.
Okay. Need a re-education. Still running the crystal sword. Pretty sure I've learned everything I needed to with it. Ah, Yuffie.
Put your faith. This village is lame. Did you know none of the materia here is even real? And don't get me started on the planetologists. Bunch of blowhards in love with the sound of their own voice.
Often the critiques associated with academia.
Within you all.
Tell me.
I heard from fellow Bugenhagen. By all means.
Come join the seminar.
Our own understanding. Which would you say is a more worthy pursuit?
They are both one and the same.
I ask you this, who among you has looked as the permanent
All the time I've spent here, listening and learning.
A seminar is in progress.
I've always been on the bigger side, but I've never been into physical stuff. Painting and poetry are more my thing. My old man, he used to say it was a waste, me spending all my time indoors. According to him,
What about you, miss? You must have a story to share. Please.
Me? Okay. Where to begin? I fell into the life stream. I don't have words to describe it, except beautiful, maybe? It was a lot to take in. Feelings of kindness washed over me. Long-forgotten memories came flooding back. It was a warm, comforting place. But there was also conflict. A war between the planet and its enemies. And we can't let them win. We need the planet, and it needs us. We have to rise up, fight back, defend it from this terrible threat. Thing is, I don't know how to do any of that. And I hoped you might have the answer. I'm not criticizing planetology or anything. And I'm not trying to scare anybody either. I just... You know... Never mind. This is all coming out wrong.
Please, do not be discouraged. Should you ever wish to try again, we would be more than happy to listen. What matters is that you keep challenging your beliefs. Stop doing that, and the answers will forever elude you. On that note, I think we should adjourn for the evening. The River of Lights is almost upon us, so let us head to the torch.
That's the re-education, a share group.
I'll see you at the festival.
Can make the sedative. Yay. That's good. Now what else can I make? Alright, put that on the list. High ether's on the list. What else? These guys are on. Wait. All on the list. Not much. Okay.
The River of Light, sir. This night comes but once a year,
Oh,
bringing
that's
us
fortuitous.
closer to the planet. I've no doubt you'll feel her grace.
There is no seminar being held here at the moment.
I ask you this, who among you has looked up? We yearn to chase the horizon.
You're interested in learning more about planetology?
Well, this goes down. Okay. Went up, it'd be heading the wrong way. Hey, everybody's here. Alright. When I go up to Mauna Kea, that's the way the stars look there. We have about half of those stars in Volcano. Too much light pollution. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to you because you're the one.
Great mother. She would never forsake us, never abandon us, for we are her children, one and all. This wonderful planet is always watching over us.
I wonder why they're keeping her there.
Did I sound as awkward as I felt?
You did good. Can't help it if they suck at listening. I got what you were saying.
I kinda wanted everyone to get it, though.
Yeah.
To hell with everyone.
Great advice. Thanks.
Oh, I guess blue is better.
I had the pleasure of talking to a mentor. Said it was presumptuous of me to think I could save the planet. She decides her own fate, you see.
That's the apatheia.
Cleanses the skies, so too does she cleanse herself of filth. So what? We sit here and theorize while the planet rinses and repeats?
No, we fight, or nothing will change.
Yep.
That's what I said. I knew you'd see it my way, Merc. Thanks.
Wow, so many tourists. Must be quite the festival.
Look at them, gathered around the fire, just like us that day. Me and Mom and Dad. If only we could do that again. Never mind. Just
I'll lend an ear.
Whenever I think about my mom, my chest swells with so much pride, I feel like it'll burst.
I don't like this
When it
voice.
comes to my dad, sorry, I can't. Still not ready.
Wouldn't let me talk to her, though. Something about Aerith, huh?
So, I'm an ancient. As in, a steward of the planet. One of those ancients. Or, to be more precise, the only ancient. For the most part, it's been a source of pain. I've been held against my will. I've been watched. I've been ignored. Even hated. And it's been that way ever since I was little. My blood's been nothing but a curse. If I ever started to forget, something would remind me of what I was and bring me crashing back down to earth. It was always the same. Time after time. I'd be shown a glimmer of hope, only to have it snatched away. I was never gonna be normal. That much was clear.
Her Sephiroth hair in the front is distracting me. Only one of your kind, right? And everybody has a response. Everybody looks to you as a responsible individual that can do no wrong. Encourage her.
It's okay.
So my blood's been a curse, but it's also been a blessing. It's brought some wonderful people into
There
my
you
life.
go.
Friends that I love. And for once, I think I'm okay.
So maybe that's another thing. That's another thing the religious spirit gives you. You know, so she just talked about how kind of her life could be seen as a curse, being like she's the only one of her tribe, right? And it's been a burden. You know, we all kind of have, not that specific, but we all kind of have a burden of where we were born, you know? When we're born into this world, it's not a world that we built, and yet we try to find our ways to improve it, make it better. So that way, when we're done, we were a much more boon for good than evil in the world. Or at least that's what I kind of hope, and that's kind of what I instill into my kids as well. But maybe that's another aspect of the religious fervor, specifically the Judeo-Christian concept of things. There is meaning in your conflict. There's meaning in strife, cloud strife. There's meaning in the conflict. There's meaning in hardships. So think about it like this, okay? I think Jesus Christ is probably the greatest figure to demonstrate this way of thinking, and then I'll end it with a much more scientific account of it. But just stick with me for a little while here, okay? So Jesus has his Last Supper with individuals, one of which he knows is going to betray him. Doesn't matter. He washes their feet anyway. I think it was Paul who asks him when Paul says he'll stick by his side. Jesus says, "You will turn on me like 3 times before the cock crows," or something like that. I haven't gotten to the New Testament. I'm at Numbers right now in the Old Testament, so I'm not even at the New Testament yet. But anyway. I hope you don't hold it against me if I get the names of the saints wrong. But Jesus knows he's going to be betrayed, and yet he breaks bread with these people. And then he is tortured and crucified by the very people he's been trying to save. And then if you look from everything from Palm Sunday to Jesus's torture and crucifixion, you see a changing in the sacrifice that occurs. Let me say it specifically this way. Before this time, when people saw the cross, all right, it was a sign of torture. It must have been a sign of malevolence, like one of the worst ways people could die. It was a torture device, everyone. And so if you saw the cross as you're walking to your village, the dread that must have come over you when you saw that cross, like who died and who died in a horrendous way. You know? So the sign of the cross itself was not a holy sign. And yet, and then so we continue. And then, you know, Jesus goes through his torture. He has to carry the cross. And then on the cross, he's crucified. He's sat there. And then he's stabbed by the spear, you know. They didn't even let him succumb to the suffocation of his body as his body went limp. He stabs him. So what's interesting is I think I heard from one of my priests that Jesus died before that right there. So he didn't even die by asphyxiation, you know. Anyway, regardless, when he's on the cross before he dies, this is where the epitome of Christ and his message comes from. Everyone has betrayed him. His people, his followers, nobody stood with him. He looks up in the sky, believing, you know, he's the Son of Christ. And he's the Son of God. And I believe he was the Son of God. He looks up in the sky and he says, "Don't punish them, for they know not what they do." And in this moment, he could have turned against humanity, and he didn't. It was one of the ultimate benevolence. It's like the benevolent spirit incarnate. It is Jesus Christ, you know? And then you have Pontius Pilate, I believe, carves into it Eusus Nazareus, I forget the rest. Is it INRA? Rex Eodorum or something like that? It means Jesus Nazareth, King of Jews. So, what happens after that? Well, as we all know, he's put in the tomb, and then Jesus resurrects, rises, starts creating new disciples all over the world, people who didn't believe in him before. I'm thinking of James here, that comes around and starts believing in Jesus. Now, what does this do? Pontius Pilate, the one who killed Jesus, ends up kind of being one of the first evangelicals, because his little barb at the end of Jesus Christ, Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews, now's a legitimate. He is King of the Jews. He was resurrected. What he said was, in fact, the truth. And on top of that, the cross itself, once an ancient torture device, now becomes a symbol of the resolving spirit of man and Jesus Christ, the way to the Lord itself. So if there's another thing that the Bible, or maybe even religion, offers you, is it gives you meaning in your strife. Oh, Dostoevsky, and this is worth remembering. So I wrote it down a while ago because I'm trying to remember it, but it's worth it for here. There is only one thing I dread, not to be worthy of my suffering. That's Dostoevsky, the author of Crime and Punishment and the Brothers Karamazov. Not to be worthy of my suffering, not to see meaning in my suffering. That is a religious idea. That is not a scientific idea. In Viktor Frankl's A Man's Search of Meaning, He was able to get through the Nazi concentration camp because he had a spirit within him. He kept the spirit of religion within him. And what that allowed him to do is it allowed him to find meaning in his suffering. He was able to find meaning in his strife. And by his own words, what allowed him to survive and what allowed the majority of those who were going through the worst concentration camp of I challenge myself when I try to avoid it. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. When I can't remember the name, it's almost like I'm like, stop avoiding and figure out the name so that way your brain strengthens. Auschwitz. He was able to survive Auschwitz. And what he noticed is the majority of those who were able to survive Auschwitz saw the same thing. They saw meaning in their suffering. And this goes all the way up, not just Dostoevsky. This is attributed all the way to in Stalin, where Alexander Solzhenitsyn writes the Gulag Archipelago. Even though he was innocent, he tried to find meaning in his situation. And then he went out there and spoke to a bunch of individuals trying to find meaning in his suffering. There is meaning in your suffering. There is knowledge in your strife. You can make something of it. One of the most horrific acts of torture and crucifixion and betrayal was turned around, where the very symbols of the crucifixion ended up becoming positive symbols. The horrible act, the sin that was committing, ended up becoming one of the biggest gold stars. That's something that is a religious idea. You can turn your sins into accolades by finding meaning, repenting, and becoming stronger. You know, that is a Catholic belief right there. There's a Catholic belief that if you repent and you learn from your sins, you will be stronger for it. You know? I think that's what she's saying here. This is something that you won't find in a secular view of the world. You know?
Happy even. And all that pain feels worth it.
That pain feels worth it. Made pain, made strife into something positive.
Even if I can't lead a normal life, there is one thing I can do. Return their kindness. And try to make the most of what I've been given.
What we all try to do, right? I do want to go to one of these. The ones that we have in Hilo, they actually put it into the water. They gather it, though, so it doesn't pollute, because we're very conscientious in that way. But I would love to see the Lantern Festival when they release them into the sky. And the world reacts to it. It's almost like the world needs to accept the offering in order for it to mean something, right?
It is time.
Whoa!
Maybe not means, maybe for it to be much more impactful, I would say. Yeah, I think that's better. Because I think they do find meaning in it, even if the world didn't react. But when the world reacts, now it's like, I'm on the right path. I think it's like an orientation. There it is. It orients you correctly.
Meant every word, though.
So, this is where you've been, Nanaki. Well, I suppose you could say that. But why? 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 W
What's up?
There's something of great import I need to show you. And by that I mean all of you. Join me, would you?
Nose is plugged today.
What did you all think of the River of Lights? For whatever reason, the ceremony has drawn a number of tourists to the Vale as of late. When I ask for their impressions, they often speak of how beautiful it was. Some claim they were even moved to tears. It's an overwhelmingly positive reception, I'm happy to say. To stir the human soul is no small feat, and it pleases me to know that the River of Lights possesses such power. Alas, my hopes to parlay their emotional response into a deeper intellectual curiosity.
Well, that is the pivot point right there. Yeah.
People are surrounded by cats, dogs, birds, and trees. They know that life is all around them, be it through the birth of a baby or the blooming of a flower. They bear constant witness to the blessed cycle of creation.
All right, I'll get on this side.
No interest in the welfare of our
No,
planet.
that side too.
Forgive me for sharing my idle thoughts. Keeping them to myself is quite a challenge in my old age.
I'm glad to know that Aerith has friends like you to keep her company. Today's experience was
Aerith like won them all over, yeah.
you cherish it always.
All right, here we go.
Well then, shall we proceed?
But I thought this door was...
Sealed so that none may enter? Why, yes. And by my own hand, no less. However, you've a trial to undertake.
I do?
If you wish to prove yourself and become a Watcher of the Veil, that is. I presume you are prepared.
Yeah.
I will also require your assistance in carrying out the trial. Much danger awaits within, and I wish to ensure his safety. When you're ready, simply say the word.
The word. Not just yet. Because this is where we're going to end right here. But I will be jumping on tomorrow to play much more as well. So we'll see how far we can get with today and then tomorrow. So far, pretty awesome. The Cosmo Canyon has been a lot more motivating, like motivating the story, and we knew it was going to be, because this is where we get a lot of the concepts of the life stream and the planet and stuff like that. So feels great. Really enjoying this story so far. This one and the last one really helped assuage. I wouldn't say assuage my criticisms. I still think a lot of the side missions are very not just uninspired, but they have nothing to do with the story, you know, inconsequential. That's the best word I can think to use. But that's not where we're going to end on. We're going to end on a positive note. There was a lot of things in here, a lot of juicy tidbits we were able to get into when it comes to not only the life stream, but obviously the technological versus the religious aspect, and how we can apply that to our lives here as we move so much closer to a secular society. Even though I do believe there's a pushback happening right now where people are looking at the impending wave of secularism and they're saying, nope, I will not let that hit me right here. I'm gonna build an arc of belief and be able to set on top of the waves of your secular seas. So thank you all for who joined. Thank you all for who watched all the way to the end. And as usual, take some time with the classics, because they will awaken the hidden dragon within all of you. See you next time.